threatened the peace agreement with government. I earlier spoke to him and I asked him for his reaction to this development.
I would just say it doesn't have much merit in the eyes of the arrangement that established the interim administration in the first place. I don't consider myself particularly entitled to this position. I lead one faction of TPLF, and all the arguments or the protestations with regard to which one is legitimate can go on forever. But as far as the interim administration is concerned, just one faction of TPLF doesn't have the right or the privilege to determine who should represent it. But ultimately, the arrangement should call for some sort of negotiation with the federal government. If Dr. Torreson's faction feels entitled to this position, then they have to sort this out with the federal government, not with the interim administrations.
I mean, there are some claims that the TPLF, under your leadership, hasn't done enough to unify the party and the region after the conflict.
We ended up in two factions only about 2 months ago, I guess. So to the extent that there was failure on the part of the TPLF leadership, which I absolutely admit to be the case, it was a failure on the part of the executive committee of the TPLF, myself included. But unfortunately, while some of us were trying to come to terms with the fact that things have changed and changed forever and do things slightly differently than our organization used to do business in the past, there, however, were some elements within the party who had difficulty coming to terms with this changing reality on the ground. I don't have much to say by way of absolving myself of responsibility of having either created or precipitated this crisis, but I would say I stand tall when it comes to at least admitting to having been in the wrong.
Given the fragile state of the Tigray region, we see data all the time. IDP is not able to come back to the area. Enrollment in schools has also dropped. How confident are you that this internal conflict can be resolved peacefully without undermining the gains that have been made in peace and reconstruction in Tigray?
I would be lying to you if I'm overly confident. But I still am confident because the people of Tigray have proven that they can rise up to any challenge and come out stronger and stronger. And the kind of yawning gulf between the expectation of the public and the kind of leadership we are ready to offer is obviously disconcerting, but I have every reason to believe that with the kind of massive mobilization of the youth and all cross-sections of society to see to it that things progress well enough for people to have their say in shaping the future of Tigray, in ensuring that the territorial integrity of Tigray is fully restored and all the dividends of the Pretoria Agreement are fully enjoyed and achieved. I have reason to believe that despite our failures as leaders, the political environment is still within our power, within the power of the people to be channeled in a manner that will serve the best interest of our people.
Because of the fragile state of peace in Tigray and the suffering of people there, despite the Pretoria Agreement, are you willing to negotiate with the other faction instead of this legal, avenue? Instead of, calling it a coup, is negotiation on the table from where you sit, Getachew?
Negotiation will never be off the table any time. Let alone negotiating with my erstwhile comrades, with whom I have fought to the nail against all sorts of enemies. We have had this opportunity to negotiate with people who essentially were in the business of trying to annihilate us. So negotiation will never be off the table. But by calling it by its name, what we are trying to do right now is to show to the people of Tigray that the kind of counterproductive measures that have been taken through this announcement should be rejected and rejected